Thank you for joining us this afternoon as we begin to talk about the upcoming flu season and all the wonderful opportunities we have to help our patients get healthy and stay healthy. I'm joined by a couple of people, 3 people to be exact today, who are going to be giving us some updates and information on how to get our process started. It's my understanding that all of the flu immunizations have been delivered to the clinics as of Monday. So we want to make sure that everyone understands how to update this information all in all the right spots. This is new for us with Epic this year. So the first person I'd like to introduce is Angela Jackson. Angela is a member of our quality department here at Utica Park Clinic. She's going to talk to us a little bit about the immunizations, the type of immunizations. As would you do me a favor and be sure to mute?
Otherwise, it's going to be echoing.
Please mute.
Otherwise,
please mute yourself. Hello.
Yeah. I don't like that. Okay. I mean, I can adjust it if I need to.
I just got to do something really quick. I just have to mute everybody for just a second, and then we'll get on with this presentation. Okay. Angela Jackson.
All right, good afternoon. As Verda said, all of you should have received your flu already. There are 4 types of flu this year. Your top left corner, we have flu zone for your 6 to 35 months. Then on the top right corner, we have Fluorix, which for 6 months and older. And then we also have Flu Mist on your bottom left, and that's 2 years to 49 years. And then on your bottom right, we have Fluad, which is for your 65 years and plus. And I will go deeply into about the administration about those vaccines later. As far as I know, we don't have egg-free, the Flublok and the Flucivex, but you can contact purchasing about receiving those.
All right, we had a little trouble with the slideshow presentation here, but I think we're back on track now.
All right, next up is the storage of your vaccines. Most of you should already know this, but we're going to do a proper review. Your storage should be in between 35 degrees to 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Fluorix, Flu Mist, and Fluad are light sensitive, and what I mean by light sensitive is that it must stay in the box. I do understand that some of you all have some storage challenges. You may use the refrigerator portion of your combination fridge, but only use the fridge only if you're having challenges with that. But I do request that you take temps once in the morning, your AM and your PM, or your min-max in the morning. And I will need to have that log sent to me monthly at upcqi@hillcrest.com. That should be very familiar with you all. Flu zone 6 months to 35 months is not life sensitive. So if you want to take it out the box, you can. I suggest that you don't because for your inventory purposes. But if you must make room, you can do that. Last point, if you suspect that your temperatures have been out of range, please report it to the clinic manager and then also email upcqi@hillcrest.com. All right, for administration, you all should already know the 8 rights of patient safety and doing your 3-point check. I cannot emphasize that enough. Before you even immunize your patient, make sure you do your 8 rights and also do your 3-point check, okay? Also, give the patient their vaccine information statement before you give the immunization. You've got to give them that because it is a federal law, and also it gives them the risk and benefits of the immunization before they even have it. Okay. First point, the flu zone 6 to 35 months. It's in a 0.25 ml presentation, and it's licensed for patients 6 months to 35 months, and it's given IM. Fluorix. Even though we put this as for an adult vaccine, It is licensed for patients 6 months and older, and is given IM. So what I'm getting at with that is, if you run out of your flu zone 6 to 35 months, you can give Fluorix to a 2-year-old and older. And I understand that it's a 0.5 milliliter presentation, and that is okay. It has been licensed for that. Flu Mist. It's in a 0.2 mil presentation, 1 mil per nostril, and it's licensed for patients 2 years to 49 years. And we only have this available on the private side. For those who have VFC, as you already know, it is not available for VFC. This is only for private. So just remember, you can give it to 2-year-olds all the way to 49. Fluad is also in a 0.5 milliliter presentation, and it's licensed for patients 65 years and older, and you give that IM. These flu presentations are pre-filled, but a separate needle will need to be attached. So if you don't have these separate needles, please contact purchasing to get these needles. If by chance someone makes a mistake, and we all make mistakes every once in a while, please make sure that you fill out an incident report and send it to upcqi@hillcrest.com. And for that staff member that made the error, you may be required to take You Call the Shots online training, and you may also have to attend a day session at UPC Education Center, which is facilitated by Mally Delk. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Okay, Mary West is a data analyst here at Utica Park Clinic. She's been with us for quite some time. She's going to step us through the flu metric, how it's defined, and some key information about how to find patients who have had their flu injections or who need one.
Okay, the Influenza Measure description reads the percentage of patients aged 6 months and older seen for a visit between October 1st and March 31st who received an influenza immunization or who reported previous receipt of an influenza immunization. And the time frame for the administration is between August 1st of the previous year and March 31st of the current year. So, for example, for the 2018 reporting year, the flu season occurred during August 1st, 2017 and March 31st, 2018. So we're really finished with, from a reporting perspective, for the clinical quality measure for 2018. And the measurement period that we're currently immunizing patients is 10/1/18 through 3/31/19, and that will be reported then for year 2019. The overlapping of the flu season measurement period and the quality measurement reporting period can be confusing. And so we developed this flow chart to assist in clarifying time frames and requirements in order to meet the measure outcome. So the first box up there, if the patient 6 months or older has had a visit in 2018, that automatically puts them in the initial population. If they have not had a visit, it's no, and they would not be included in the measure.
Yeah, there
so
you
then,
go.
yes, they had a visit in 2018. It looks at, did the visit occur during 10/1/17 and 3/31/18? If it did, then that group of patients is included in the denominator. If the patient's visit was not during that time, they would not be included in the measure. So yes, they had the visit during that time. Then we look at whether the flu shot was administered between 8/1/17 and 3/31/18. And you might notice it starts in August, so it counts, although the flu season starts in October, it counts any administration that was done in August. And so if it was received during that time, the patient is included in the numerator and the outcome is met. If the flu shot was administered elsewhere, then we would document as a historical immunization, and if that's documented, that patient is included in the numerator and the outcome is met. If it's not documented, the outcome would not be met. If the patient refuses the immunization, under health maintenance guidelines, and we'll look at a couple of screenshots of that later, there's options to exclude or postpone. And when those are done, then the patient is not included in the denominator. So I hope that helps a little bit to understand how that the outcomes meant from a clinical quality perspective. So then we move on to how you can find your clinic's performance, your departments. And this is on the quality measure dashboard. You'll see it's a summary level, the department, and then your department is listed there. And under community population health section, you'll find on CMS 147, that's the preventive care and screening influenza. You can expand that measure definition by clicking on the down arrow, and then it reads what the metric is. Additionally, by clicking the year-to-date percentage, that's the 64% where the arrow is there, it provides options to run a report on your department's providers, and from that report you can drill down further to patient-level detail. And this was presented in a WebEx a couple of weeks ago, so we won't go over how to do that, but you can get down and see how your patient, whether they met the measure or didn't, and if they didn't, what were the factors why they did not. And then we go to how we can find your patient to see who needs a flu shot. This is on the population health dashboard. You can run the report on patients overdue for influenza vaccine in your department. The report is listed under additional wellness reports, and you just click on that and the report will automatically run. This is an example of running the report, and it's showing patients overdue, or we've highlighted areas where patients are overdue for their vaccination. You can view the date of the last contact, their next appointment, and the last flu date. And on this, we've kind of said that these patients do not have appointments, but they all are needing a flu shot. Here's another example of patients with a recent visit that have had their flu shot. And you'll notice the recent contact was dated 9/11, and that group of patients, there's probably about 7 or 8, all had flu shots yesterday. And I did check that report today, and those patients that received the flu shot yesterday are no longer displaying when I ran the report today. And additionally, health maintenance then was automatically updated with the current immunization and with the date of 9/11. You can also, the report can be filtered to identify patients needing flu shots for upcoming appointments by day or week. So in this example, we just put next appointment. We're looking at patients from 9/12 to 9/15, and then make sure after you apply your filters that you click on apply so that they will reflect that. So again, this shows patients coming in tomorrow who need flu shots. The next appointment date is, and they're all needing them. So you can do a quick check and see who you need to focus on to make sure they get their immunization. So then what if the patient declines or is allergic? On health maintenance, there's options to postpone and exclude. And so you will want to do that if the patient refuses to get a flu shot. And this first one is showing to postpone, and this should be selected if you plan on addressing this at a later date with the patient. Perhaps they're sick today and they'll come back in a month, or maybe they're refusing it this year and you want to put next year's date. So you'll notice you have to put in a date and then the list of reasons display there. The other option is to exclude, and you would utilize this if you're excluding, if you're never going to address this with the patient again. So this will just remove it completely. It could be for medical reason, patient refused, or patient refused religious reasons are those options. And we don't have a slide of this, but there's also an option under the health maintenance modifier. If they're allergic, you can also put that health maintenance modifier that they're not a candidate for a flu vaccine. So that's the end of this, and we're going to turn it over to Olivia.
let me find Olivia and make her the presenter, and she can begin her section of this presentation.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you turn me over. Let me pull up my PowerPoint here. Oh, I got to share my screen. So give me just a second. Let me share my screen here. And then there I am. All right. So hello, my name is Olivia Greenman. I'm with Clinical Informatics, so I'm a clinical operations analyst. I was a medical assistant for quite a while. Can everybody see my screen? Hopefully. Okay. So I'm going to talk about how you order and administer the flu vaccine. So the first thing we're going to look at the documentation in the clinic. So we can search for, order, and sign the immunizations in the medications and order sections in the plan activity. So when the patient's here for their visit or for a nurse visit, you would go to the plan activity, use the tabs across the top, or scroll down to the meds and orders, and then search for your flu vaccine. After that, you'll go to the immunizations activity on the activity sidebar, and that'll let you enter the administration details. If you don't have that immunization activity on your sidebar, you may have to go to the More activity and find it. So you would select your Administer button. You can see there is a Defer button here also. That Defer button is more of your patient's here, we've ordered the flu shot, they said they want it, and then, oh, at the last minute, no, I don't. So at that point, you would use the Defer button. But we're going to say our patient's going to get the flu shot, so we're going to select the Administer button. When we do, we'll have to fill in the information, so it'd be all the hard stops, so those red stop signs, and then you would select your Accept button down here. Once all your red hard stops are filled in, then the Accept button will be black instead of gray, and you'll be able to select it. So once we've entered our information and accepted the immunization, it will now be listed under the administration history and the immunization activity. So this was, I did this yesterday, so you can see it has 9/11 on the date. So for historical documentation, so this is the patient had their flu shot done at a walk-in clinic or at Walgreens or something like that. This will let us enter that information. So again, we'd go to the immunization activity. It may, again, be under that More activity. You'd select the drop-down arrow next to historical admins, and then you can select the single historical immunization. When you do, it's going to have you search for the immunization, so you'd find the one that matches, so you'd search for and then select it, and then fill in the required field. So the only field that is required is the date. We can't expect a patient to know the lot number, manufacturer, NDC, but we do want to know what date they have had it done. So that's why it's a red hard stop. Once you fill in that information, your Accept button will become active and you would select Accept. Then the immunization will be listed in the administration history under the date that it was entered. So since I ordered my flu, or I put in that the patient had it a month ago and I did this yesterday, it shows 8/11/18 for the date that it was given. For providers, providers are able to add the flu vaccines to their preference list. From their home screen, they come to the personalized button and select the arrow, go to their preference list. They would search, they could add a new section for vaccines and then search the item that they need. So they would add a new item, search for the flu shot, and put it in. Once they do, when they go to order the flu shot and the meds and orders, they can click the magnifying glass, select their only favorites, and then you can see the flu vaccine is there for them to choose. And then that's all I have. So let me go back and I will okay. Verda, do you want me to give you the ball back?
That'd be great.
All right, there you go.
So one of the things, you saw that last slide, hopefully, that just says the easy button is to give that flu shot to everyone who needs one, and to try to have that done by March 31st. That ensures that patient gets counted in those metrics as we get ready to report it. There were a couple of questions that came up about that came on the chat line about what reports count where. We're going to send everyone out some additional information and instructions on what is counted in that. There is a report that we saw that showed that there was 64% compliance of the flu shot. If you pulled that listing by clicking on the 64%, it would show you every patient in your clinic, whether or not they met the outcome or did not meet the outcome for the previous year, or whether or not they were not included in the initial population, meaning that they did not have a visit during that reporting year. The second question that popped up, I think, was with regard to that overdue vaccination. So that overdue listing resets every flu season, and so we're not officially in that metric capture yet. It'll actually reset 10/1/19, but you can still use it. We checked it. It works great. On this last screen, just to make sure everybody knows that on the upcoming health maintenance screen that is on in Epic, this is your pre-visit planning process. Flu vaccination 9/1/18 was the last date given, so it's due now. For those great medical assistants that are the boots on the ground in the room with the patient, that's one of the questions to always ask. If they've already had that flu shot, then you simply do a historical documentation, and health maintenance guidelines would update. Thank you, guys. We're going to give you back a little bit of time. Thank you for joining us today. Goodbye.